Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
Hello.
How are we all? How many do we have in the chat room this morning?
132 waiting.
Very good.
Waiting no more. Good morning.
Good morning. Hope you're all good this pleasant Thursday.
Yep. Happy Thursday.
There's been a little golf already out in Saudi. Big,
Oh yeah, of course.
big field out there. Big field. Got
Some notables in the
some
field.
notables, yeah, indeed. Good to see DJ making the trip. They obviously pay a
Yeah, I saw
handsome
that.
appearance fee.
I mean, what do you think DJ makes just for going?
I think a couple of mil is probably the running number for the world
Low
number
scores. David Horsey here.
1. Oh, Stevie G.
8 under for the old Gallagher.
Wow.
Gallagher?
Gallagher. Yeah.
Wiesberger. I haven't seen him up there
No, I
in
know.
ages.
It's been a while.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Nice. So that's
absolutely.
probably on TV right now, isn't it?
It will they'll probably be what they are no.
What's their time?
Yeah,
difference?
they'll be Dubai was 8 hours, so
So they're probably wrapping up the old afternoon round.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's it.
Very nice.
So today we have some new golf balls in the house.
We do. I will get them.
Yeah, we have some new Strixon golf balls. I done a little testing with them the other day. I'm not going to spoil it for Matty.
Oh, packaging's nice.
Packaging's really nice. Done a lovely job with that.
There they are. Sleeve of Dreams.
Yeah, I'm really curious
Did you
to see
test
what
both?
I have tested both,
Nice.
and I saw something I really didn't expect to see.
Was it the CERM? Spin skin with CERM? Is that what you were receiving? Extra CERM?
a little extra on.
What is CERM?
It must be just an application to the outside. Normally it's like they've done like in
There
the
you go.
past.
For greenside spin.
There you go.
With CERM. Spin consistency, CERM. What else can we add to the list?
Any
this
more
year?
buzz terms?
Yes, we'll do that today for sure.
We'll do that.
The famous Ronaldo is coming in today.
We
Imminently.
have Ronnie coming in the house. So Ronnie does a great job at representing the slightly slower 60-ish. Ronnie's about 60-ish, early 60s maybe.
That sounds right.
Yep.
He's ageless, really. I mean, it's
He
hard to know
is.
how
I
old he
know.
is.
He hasn't aged in the 10 years I've known him. He's
I think
exactly
I
the same.
think he's in his early 60s. I know
Yeah.
he told me, but
His golf game's getting better every year.
his handicap has gone down at least, 3 or 4 in the last 2 years. So
Yep.
he is the best golfer he's ever been.
Yep.
What are we working on with Ronnie today? Is he going to try this Zexio stuff?
There's a few things. There's a few lightweight products that you and I have kind of went, oh, it's not really something that we can get into too much. I think there's some club building type things with regards to his equipment and how we could build it for
Right.
him. So I'm sure he's got some ideas as he
Does
always
he?
does.
I'm
Oh,
glad
there's a
I haven't heard them yet. I haven't heard them.
There's a list,
Good.
which is amazing.
So we'll take the highest kind of yield item, whatever the most
Yeah.
exciting thing is. We'll do that with Ronnie today.
Yeah, there was definitely chatter of a kind of slower swing speed ball test.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's right. We were going to fit him for a ball.
Yeah,
weren't we?
we get into some ball testing
about
with
that?
with Ronnie, and I think something that a lot of people can really relate to
Yep.
with Ronaldo.
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 Ronaldo. Have we downloaded the new FSX Pro? We have not. I might try it today, just while we're waiting for Ronaldo to show up.
We have a version on this.
It's not that one. You don't
No,
want that
it's a
one.
beta. Yeah,
The real one's here. We'll check it out later. I'll download it while we're when we're done the live. But we're excited. I mean, the screenshots of it look good. So sounds like there's some new features
Yeah,
that we will check out.
we'll be diving in there.
Bunch of guys asking about what we thought about Rory's distance rollback comments.
Yeah.
God, he did great.
He went to town on them, didn't he?
Good for him. Good for him. He's saying what everyone is thinking. Hey, stop wasting your time and money. Good for him for calling out all the money they pissed away on this
Yeah,
report.
yeah.
99.99999% of people who play golf give a shit about what you're talking about in this distance report. You've pissed all this money away.
Yeah.
You could have helped juniors, women, men, who cares, get into the game. People that don't like golf, they
Yeah.
could have tried golf. You could have spent that money in charity funds. You could have used it for all kinds of different stuff to grow the game. So I agree with him. I find it hard to say anything negative about what he said, to be honest, because it's a waste of money.
Well, look
and
at
time.
the game right now and how much. I feel like the whole speed conversation, gaining speed, and whether it's through fitting or super speed or training and things like that, it's given people a purpose in the game,
Yes.
as well, and everyone kind of loves it, that challenge to gain a little bit of speed. I love it, and it's If they start kind of limiting golf balls and stuff like that, all of that will kind of go away.
It sucks. I think the whole thing sucks. I think from the very beginning, I don't know, you've been pretty consistent with your opinion. I think you've said from the beginning, like, this is rough for golf, generally. Any sort of equipment rollback is going to be pretty rough for
Terrible.
Terrible. Equipment industry will obviously suffer.
Yeah.
And people who have invested in certain clubs and balls and God knows what else that may become illegal or something will be pissed. They'll say, where's my stuff?
I mean, how many examples do you want to give of times when course setup has negated the distance?
A million.
Conversation.
A million times.
You look at
Harbourtown.
Harbourtown's a great one. Carnoustie, when Tiger almost won the...
How long is Carnoustie? That's a great question. It's not
I mean, it was probably 74, but apparently it was playing 10% shorter because of how firm it was that tournament.
Of course.
So it was playing like 6,700 yards for these guys, which is nothing.
Short.
And I think
You said
Molinari
irons
won
everywhere,
it.
right?
Yeah, Molinari won it 8 under.
Yeah. So it held up just fine.
It held up fine. You know, the bunker's in the right place. It's a lack of imagination when it comes to the golf course setup that becomes that aids the distance conversation.
Yeah, if every tee shot can be hit 340 yards to a wide part of the fairway and there's no disadvantage, then the course is obviously a little bit one-dimensional.
Take your millions that you're spending on these stupid reports.
So true. Give it to the courses.
Give it to the courses and tell them to move their bunkers.
So
and add features and do things like that.
That's a great idea.
Give money back to the game and modernise your courses.
Isn't that what the USGA is supposed to do?
Yes.
And the R&A, sorry. Don't want to pick on just one community.
I know.
Joe has a great idea that I think we should do. We sort of have and talked about it. This is a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Patty, you could spearhead this.
Patty.
Little quick hits on Instagram. Something to consider.
The quick hits series on YouTube or Instagram, where it's 3 to 5 minute video where you compare 2 clubs requested by the community. Yeah. And it's something we talked about that, didn't we? We talked about, we were going to call the series head to head,
which we still can. And it was a live thing. I like the idea of doing a quick version of it, and then the live ones are more of the long, if there's an opportunity.
What about Rory's comments about his dad pestering him at Christmas dinner?
Oh, I didn't see
Autoflex.
No.
Unbelievable.
What's happening?
I'll show you.
Rory McIlroy said something about Autoflex.
Yeah. Apparently, a significant portion of his press conference, he ended up going off in one about how his read that. Well, I'll answer a couple of questions. So yeah, Autoflex is the chatter in the golf industry.
Don't get me started about that shaft. All I heard at Christmas dinner was from my dad about this Autoflex shaft. What? Can you get me one of these? Everyone's hitting it 20 yards longer. I swear. What?
Crazy.
Oh, so he tried it.
So he's hit it, yeah. I think he hit Adams.
He felt like he was going to break it if I felt.
No,
like
he
I
never hit
saw him.
Adams. He said he must have been a member at Seminole or something.
That's crazy.
His dad's a member at Seminole, I believe.
We need to start finding out if any of these things have anything to do with us.
Yeah, no. Well,
I feel like golf. I feel like Golf WRX is where they found out about it, because we were technically late to the party. Like Golf WRX had articles.
I love Golf WRX. I don't know though. I don't know if I ever heard anything about Autoflex until we had done that video.
No.
And then maybe enough. There had been enough. If you literally put in TXG right now into Google,
it comes up first. Yeah.
TXG Autoflex
it comes
is like
up first.
the top, which is nuts.
Well, it's like 200,000 views on the first one now. The first video.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
wild scenes.
It is wild.
But hopefully you guys enjoyed the little bit of balance that we added to the Autoflex conversation the other day with regards to the weight, and maybe there are some other shafts and that type of thing. It's not just this is the magic potion that you all need to drink to gain that 20 yards.
Yeah, true.
It can be done many different ways, and
absolutely.
We definitely we're going to dive into that more.
I really want to see somebody try a Ventus setup like what you put together. Doesn't have to be Ventus, any shaft, 46 inches that plays kind of that way. See if somebody kind of does that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Reggie's saying there, would love to see Ronnie hit Autoflex. I bet a lot of you would love to see Ronnie hit Autoflex, the 305 version, and see if that for Ronaldo is world class. I mean, we done a little test with him with Zexio a while back. And
with the driver,
it wasn't perfect for him because because of the head sat a little bit shut forward and stuff.
And he tends to miss it a bit left. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm just going to put the old slow mode on because I
Slow
forgot.
mode, so right.
Comments are coming in a little bit faster than my eyes can see them.
Ryan, efficiency on quad 1.46 to 1.48 is the driver non-conforming? No, it's just misreading club speed. I wouldn't imagine there's really any heads coming out from OEMs that exceed 257 CT. So it's more to do with the reading of the club head speed. So the club head speed is read slightly slower. The ball speed is obviously read higher. So the amount of output is high in relation to the input, which reads the efficiency a little on the high side.
We've seen that a few times.
Aye, definitely.
Because we've seen drivers that are actually quite good have low efficiency for the same kind of reason, I guess, right?
Did we chat on, who just said that there? Nate. Thoughts on the My Golf Spy fitting chat. Have you seen any of this stuff?
No.
I tell you what, there was a really interesting conversation it was on their podcast the other day, and somebody sent it to me because we were kind of named a few times in terms of companies that fit. And so is algorithm-based fitting going to replace club fitting? And
person fitting.
The general consensus of the group was yes, that it's going to be it's much more efficient to have an algorithm run your possible heads, shaft combinations based on strike points. And I've thought about it an awful lot. I mean, I remember the whole idea with gears in terms of like a test program.
That's the vision for it.
That's the vision in terms of, so you'd come into TXG, you'd be in something like gears or whatever, and you'd hit a bunch of different combinations. You'd hit long, standard, short, heavy, counterbalanced. You'd hit a mid-sized grip, a standard grip, whatever, and then from there, you'd basically have a bunch of reports generated from how you reacted to all those things, and obviously the AI would then lead you in the direction. Okay, so here's the 4 possible combinations that you want to try in your fit or anything like that. There's something like that is going to be a big part of our game, but in terms of replacing, it was funny. Tony Covey. Who's kind of their, I guess, their lead on tech and stuff like that. Yep. Tony is really dialed into this sort of stuff, and he was the guy. I didn't know this, but he was the guy, as Adam said, that wrote all the algorithms for their system.
Oh, cool.
So he was like, no, this will never replace
interesting
fitting.
I think
this one sec.
Yeah, no worries. Eventually would be my take. Not now though. Technology will have to look a way that it doesn't look right now. All right, I'm going to take a few questions, gents and ladies. Yeah, it's a good conversation, the online fit algorithm thing. I think, generally speaking, there's a lot of stuff that technology does right now that we probably would have said 20 years ago, no, it won't do. So currently, I can't picture it right now. I would say it could take 5-10% of the fitter's job and expedite the process. I think it's going to be the technology that will cause an almost, do you want to take that? An almost fully automated process to occur. I just think that technology is coming. I don't think it's here. I think it's coming, but we'll see. What can I grab? Big Al's challenge. I did. Can he average 340 yards over 100 shots? That's not the right question. Sorry. I will come back to that one though. Sorry. That's okay.
There's that delivery guy trying to deliver a TV.
That's important.
I know.
I'd be all over that too. You got a TV?
I beat TV.
Nice. I hope it's not weed.
So
Big Al, 100 shots, averaging 340 is his. I'll have to watch it later. I just saw the thumbnail.
100 shots, averaging 340.
I don't know why he punishes himself. But then again, I do a lot of punishment to myself also in here, so what can we say?
That's a tough ask. I mean, to be fair though,
it could be done easily. He could do it easily.
What he got out of that sim to 8 degree.
Yeah, he could clunk 50% of them if he really wanted to. He's going to hit it over 340. He's got 180 miles an hour ball speed. He was spinning at like 1,800.
Yeah.
You'd have to top it for it not to go 340.
That's a good one, maybe. Maybe for today.
Jack, good eye there. So the STX head.
Yeah.
Are we talking about a certain Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Oh, Ronaldo. Yeah, that would be a good, wouldn't it? Likely a D1 swing weight. You know what? Let's find out right now.
Yeah. I think maybe in my office in that corner of the 303.
303?
Yeah, 305, sorry. The super light one.
This is a 305X.
Oh, that's the 305?
But is X correct?
Yeah, X is fine. Just the weight. I mean, it's super soft.
Super X Flex here for Ronnie.
That's a 303X.
Tell Ronnie that he's playing X Flex today. What have I got here? Mizuno?
Mizzy.
I'm going to swing weight this because I'm curious. So Ronaldo may be, if we have time, testing an STX. This is a 10.5. That's good for Ronnie though, right?
Yeah, it should be. We can turn it up a little bit for him.
Loft is like me. Ronnie likes a little bit of loft. Is this a Mizuno thing or is that a Ping thing?
That's Mizuno. So you're getting it.
I'm going to swing weight this, guys, while Ian does that.
All right, let's dive into a few questions from you guys. Let's dive on in there. Ronnie doesn't strike me as a pink guy. Joe, Ronnie is a pink guy. He's a hot pink guy. He might actually be wearing hot pink today when he comes in the hope and expectation that he's going to hit something Autoflex related. We will see. Janel's asking, just found out that I'm a sweeper from my iron fitting last week. Does that put me at a disadvantage versus being more steep and taking a divot? I mean, not necessarily. No, I would say, but it does make it critical, the sole design of the club that you get fit into. You want to be mindful that you don't have too much surface area down there, not too wide of a sole that you end up just hitting behind the ball, a lot and getting some iffy contacts. But I don't think it puts you at a disadvantage.
C8.
C8. Yeah. Did you see the length?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so probably 46-ish anyway,
roughly.
But again, that's at that length. That is where you'll start to see what Autoflex has designed the shaft to be. Absolutely. That's exactly how it was designed.
We will definitely. I'm C9. So what? 2 swing weight points lighter than what we used last time. We were D1 or D0.7 or so.
Yeah.
So it's pretty damn close.
Pretty damn close. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
A+ Golf. How does your Hosel shaft fitting affect swing weight? Regarding drivers, if that's what you're asking, it doesn't. It does not. Actually, if anything, some of the connectors are about a gram or 2 lighter. So there are some heavier ones that are used in the marketplace. Ours are not heavier.
Just a good quick one here from Eric. Eric plays an M5. He wants the forgiveness of sim. Every time I hit it, I get extremely low spin issues. Me too, Eric. I loft it up when I use it. I usually will test it in 10.5. Ian will usually set me up at 10.5. If you're already at 10.5, then you may want to go up in loft again or go to the max version or something.
Yeah.
The max version for Eric?
Yeah, definitely the max will help. Eric, I mean, here's the thing. You want to be mindful of as to what is termed as forgiven. Because for me, get that Michigan in there.
What's going on here, Michigan? You're welcome.
If a head is doing that for you, it's not forgiven.
That's true,
right? So
by definition,
it's not offering any forgiveness. It's actually offering less forgiveness.
Good point.
Is what it might offer is a little bit more ball speed than M5. We definitely saw that, but M5 was a pretty forgiving driver.
Absolutely. Waste Management Open early coverage is already on. That's nice.
Yeah, they must be
winter.
Literally the first people just teed off. It must be.
Eric H is saying they've got the winter rye grass grown in really thick and long. Good. So there's a perfect example. That course usually yields some low scores, but if they want to get the effective par up, then grow the rough. Here's a good one for you. How many swing weight points is the VA Nemesis shaft usually worth at 45 inches? Good question.
How much is it worth? How much will it reduce versus a standard shaft?
I guess that's what he meant, yeah.
We have seen, it depends on the balance point, right? So the balance point's measured in inches along the shaft length. So, I would say a standard balance point might be at 24 inches, a low balance point might be 23 inches, high might be around 25 inches. So here's the thing with high balance point, low balance point. People think it's at here it's at one end of the shaft versus this. We're dealing with like tiny little adjustments.
It's usually within 1 to 3 inches at most.
So it's about that. So it's the highest that we had ever tested.
That's right. Yeah.
So I think we had found that Nemesis reduced, again, something like TPT, which is about as low as you'll get. We can reduce it by 6 points.
Crazy.
Quite a lot.
Crazy.
Yep.
All right, to you.
This is a beauty. We touched on this a little earlier on. Aaron's asking, how come Finau, Reed, Johnson and Bryson opted to go and play in Saudi rather than Phoenix?
Here it is.
The Benjamins.
Because if you win in Phoenix, you only get the first place prize. If you win in Saudi Arabia for DJ, you win that and $3 million probably.
The Benjamins.
God knows what else.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good tournament, good field, obviously.
Yeah.
They may have had to purchase the field, but it does turn out to be a good event.
It looked, I saw some, I think it was like DJ, I saw him on a couple of clips hitting some tee shots and stuff like that. The course looked in unbelievable shape. You've got this backdrop of this kind of the ocean that's just bluer than blue. I'm like, this doesn't seem like too much of a hardship to me. I mean, obviously, Saudi has its reputation and its issues.
Yeah,
you know, lots of countries do, but
they've had trouble getting people to go in past years, haven't they?
They
Didn't
have.
a bunch of guys boycott it?
yeah, I mean, I know more about the politics of Saudi through boxing than golf.
I guess you would,
you
yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
when some of the big fights were going to get moved out there and stuff like that, there was, you know, obviously the Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz fight. Their second fight was moved to Saudi.
Oh, was it?
It was, yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Huh. Interesting, eh?
Yeah, so that was pretty controversial because
It would have been.
yeah, they were going like, well, can women come and can they come and cover the event? Because there's a lot of female reporters in boxing
weren't gonna
and
be
stuff
allowed?
like that. No, they were allowed. They
were.
were, but it's just that uncertainty
Well,
still out there. Of those
the
types
fact
of
that you have
things.
to ask, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to check.
Yep.
I got one here. A couple people were asking, Ricky using the MMTs
Yeah, so
in his sexy new irons?
Johnny Wonder with a nice little bit of insight with regards to that in
Oh, yeah?
terms of you know, Ricky was kind of able to move the strike point vertically on the head a little bit.
Did you want to go up or down?
Up.
Interesting.
Up. And so Johnny has you know, obviously his good connections with a bunch of tour players, and there was another tour player recently that he had told basically the Ricky story about the vertical movement of the strike point, and this other PGA Tour player is now testing MMTs and loves them, and he's found that he's had a strike adjustment based
that
on the
would
way that loads.
raise your launch a bit and lower your spin a bit on the irons.
Yep,
Hit 'em a
and
bit
a
further.
little more ball speed, you know, getting a little bit closer to the CG and things like that.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's one to watch for sure. See how he
Definitely.
plays.
Joe is telling us there his Ping G410 was D6 with a Graphite Design BB and is now D1.5 with a Nemesis.
Crazy.
So
That's nuts.
gives you the ability to play it a little bit longer should you need to.
Yeah, that would definitely bring it into a nicer window. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me in advance. Oh, false alarm. False alarm. I'm gonna take this from eRock 1070, even though I think he may have not completed his thought. I think he's asking if this is a decent fit number. He's saying he hits his 12-degree driver, 129 ball speed, 16.4 launch, 2,800 spin. Is he hitting it too high?
Yeah.
What should he be looking at? 14 launch?
Yeah, bring that down to 14 and 22, 23.
14, 22-ish for you?
Would be
E-Rock?
nice.
Pick up 10 yards?
Yeah.
10, 15 yards?
You'll pick up some ball speed as well by bringing the loft down.
So that's really all he needs to do,
Yep.
is go 12, loft it down. Sweet. That's an easy one. Easy peasy. To you?
Matty, can you test a Graphite Design HD5X at 46 inches? If they send us one, we can build it.
We could.
No problem at all.
We have a 7X at 45.
Good one from Wes here. Lads, I notice a lot of the guys on tour use a 5 and a 7 wood instead of a hybrid. Why is that? Yeah,
The ball high.
definitely.
Honestly,
There's not a lot of love for a hybrid on the tour.
Here's a question for you. See what you think. Do you think that people, and when I say people, I mean like the highest caliber players, do you think there's a trend towards these players starting to deliver less dynamic loft than they used to? Because they used to play lower lofted stuff. So I guess my question is it player swing delivery development? Is it golf ball changes? Is it head CG development? Is it all three kind of combined? Because it really seems to me like everyone used to play like a 12.5 degree 3-wood.
Yeah.
And like a hybrid that basically flew like a 1-iron, and I was always like, why the hell are you playing this? Now you got guys like Tommy Fleetwood, some of the best ball strikers in the world, going, like, I'm not going to hit these knuckly hybrids anymore. This is stupid. I'm going to hit a 7-wood, 5-wood.
Yeah.
Is it the full package, or do you, like, I don't know that their swings would have evolved. It seems like the equipment has changed more so.
So I think that the golf ball has definitely played a big role in that.
Is it lower spin than it used to? Is that why?
Much lower, but much higher launch also. So the two of those are combined.
Right. And that's why I guess a spinnier golf club is becoming more desirable than it used to be.
Yeah, because if the golf ball goes in that direction, so of the three things that makes a ball go up, the speed is the first thing, the launch is the second thing, and the spin is the third thing.
Right.
So of those components, the ball is faster than ever, it launches higher than ever, and it spins a bit less.
Right.
So all those things actually aid the ball going up quite a lot.
Okay.
So, and also through the way you see sort of the golf swing being taught nowadays, I mean, if you look back to the 90s, I mean, everyone taught the Ledbetter cupped left wrist, and now everyone wants flexion, and you know they want a very different delivery.
And that's why I wanted to ask you, because I feel like the club face is in a way stronger position now for all the best players. I shouldn't say all, but most of the best players have a much more strong club face, bowed wrist. And so I was just thinking, I wonder if they are now delivering a little less loft. And then the 7-wood is just autopilot. The ball's just going to go way higher. You don't have to do anything with your swing.
Very much.
It is pretty interesting.
Definitely.
I feel like for most people, unless you're struggling with the fairway wood for length or something, you're going to have an easier time for a slower swing, I would imagine, with a 5 and a 7-wood versus a hybrid.
Definitely.
Maybe not out of the rough, but otherwise. All right. What else can we take?
Good one here from Marcus. Does TXG ever fit petite ladies? It's crazy difficult to find solid petite clubs that aren't just cut down, which is obviously has swing weight disadvantages.
Yeah, fair.
We do. We have a matrix. Obviously, most of our heads are adjustable in weight. So we actually have some lighter head weight irons as well that we use for those types of fits. So we can actually get the swing weight dialed in. We can change grips. We can kind of cater to all of those things. So nice. Yeah, we absolutely do.
Fantastic. Ali Taylor Golf asking us what we think about the 0211 driver. We have seen it, Ali. We have not hit it. We saw it very briefly.
Saw it briefly. Yeah, I mean it looks like a budget version of a PXG. I think that's fair to say.
And unfortunately, it's a budget version of a PXG at the price point of every other company.
I think it's a lot cheaper than that. I know we said that at the time. It's a lot cheaper.
I
think it was like in US dollars. It's maybe like $399 or something.
Let's confirm that.
Actually, might be cheaper than pretty much everyone else.
If it's cheaper than a Mizuno driver, then
I think it might be.
Okay, let's find out.
It's cheap anyway.
Yeah, we haven't tested it yet, obviously.
Oh, Lando saying Rory's.
Oh, $249.
Yeah, I knew it was. So they came out and just slashed the price immediately. $249.
It was $359 new, although it says it's new, but it's also on sale. So yeah, $249. I mean, for $249, I agree with you. It doesn't look super expensive, but if it performed well, $249 is a good deal.
If you were a marketing company, and we're one of many outlets that can have some influence in this whole thing, if you have a driver that you're selling at $249 that you think is going to be very, very good, why the heck would you not? I mean, how many drivers, if you say that driver, you hit it, it worked well, we had Ronnie hit it, I hit it, and we all went, good
driver.
What, this is really good. How many could they sell at $249?
A million, a billion, a trillion.
More than they could make.
Yeah, 100%.
Crazy.
I agree. We'll find out. It's a good point. I think. Have we tested it? No. Have we gone out of our way to get it? No. If
I have.
You have?
Oh yeah,
okay.
I've reached out to their marketing team. I texted one of their people in their marketing team. I never got a reply.
Yikes. What I was going to say is, tons of people start going on about how good it is, then we will probably feel more urgency. But yes, we have made an effort to get it.
Right. All those people that paid a premium when PXG was priced higher.
I know.
I'm sorry.
It is basically like that.
It's exactly what it's like.
It would be just a bit of a letdown for your older clubs. Yeah, that's fair. Totally fair.
Yep. What is the best order for fitting? Irons, woods, wedges, putter, ball. Nate is asking. Order of priority for your game, Nate, I think is probably going to be the main thing. I think we always talk about how important it is to sort of bookend your game. A driver that performs really well, start the hole on the front foot. Don't have a driver that puts you in trouble, and then you're always playing defensively and trying to save shots. And obviously the putter is the one that you can make up for so much lost ground with. So I always think that the driver and the putter are the two that really must be dialed in.
Good. Tyler is a prior hockey player, and he says he has always felt comfortable with higher weighted shafts. Makes sense. Started to balloon and spin a little bit much, lean towards X100. So having grown up playing hockey myself, having played with a million hockey players playing golf, I should say, there's actually an NHL player who's a member at my club, and I've played some golf, or I've seen him hit on the range. A lot of hockey players tend to be a little steep and a little bit over the top because a slap shot, in fact, is a little bit that motion. You also impact the ice well behind the puck. So that motion does bleed its way in a little bit. What I would say for Tyler is, like, it's very unlikely that an iron shaft change is going to be the cure for that delivery.
Significant, yeah.
I would imagine, Tyler, that your technique is producing the spin, so I would either chat with your local pro about probably just shallowing out the delivery a bit, which would produce less spin, or play an AVX until you do that. But you're going to spend $600 on X100s, it's going to do nothing. It's not going to do anything for you.
Yeah, minimal in terms of the shaft change. I mean, the weight you're going to be using is going to be very, very similar, almost identical. The shaft deflection really is not going to. It's not going to be a massive difference. You'll see a little bit. It may feel better if you're timing that you don't feel the shaft moving around a little bit as much and things like that. But you're probably going to want to look at some point going and getting fit and looking at some lower lofts if you're struggling with that. The golf ball and the shaft is the timing component that pieces all that together.
Fantastic. I didn't see this. Justin Rose has got MP20s.
I didn't see that either.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm kind of.
I'd like to see where he lands, eh?
I'm kind of pleased to see that because I kind of felt like with Brooks leaving Mizuno and no longer playing that, I was like, that was that's kind
of
a shame and stuff like that. But that's cool that Rosie picked up.
Especially because he is like one of the best ball striker iron players, I would say. At his peak, Justin Rose is considered to be one of the better ball strikers in the world. So it's a good look for Mizuno if they pick up somebody playing their irons, I think. Someone like that, I should say.
Mike and I actually were just talking about that yesterday about Rose and things like that. And, is he really, are we going to see another, big peak in his career, or are we going to just see him be on the periphery now? He's certainly young enough.
How old is Justin Rose?
He's got to be kind of like...
It's like 37, 38?
Yeah, must be right round about that.
It's not an age issue whatsoever. It seems like it's an injury, a rotating injury issue with his back. Yeah. It seems like he can't get any length of steady play to get in the groove before he has some issue. It's too bad.
Definitely.
TSI hybrid chatter. Seen quite a bit. Won't be long, right? Won't be long. I'm looking forward to trying this.
Yeah.
I think you might be a TSI 3 hybrid player.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm
I want to see
curious.
what it looks like from a
I know, I do as well.
It's going to be hopefully not what I think it is, because it looks very unusual. Not unusual. It looks a bit niche to me.
Frank's saying Rosie's 40.
Okay. 4-0.
4-0.
The big 4-0.
I mean, really, he should. We were saying yesterday he should have had a Masters by now. I mean, that one that Sergio won was. It looked like Rosie's so much.
I would say that, and honestly, I have to admit, I wasn't really a big Justin Rose fan previous to that Masters. I kind of thought he seemed like an okay guy. I just found like at times he didn't seem the most genuine, and that was purely on me taking that assessment. Yeah. But after the way he handled losing to Sergio, I just thought the amount of class and sort of like, what's the word? I don't know, whatever.
Sportsmanship?
Yeah, sports. It was extremely good because that sucked. Like that was a sucky way. He really could have and should have won that Masters, and I think he's just, I don't know, he seemed like he was very good to Sergio about it. And so from that point, I found I just thought that was a very respectable thing to do.
Definitely.
We'll see. I don't see any reason why he shouldn't come back and win something. I just think he needs to get healthy. Maybe he needs an autoflex. Who knows? Maybe he needs a set of Mizuno irons to win. We'll find out.
We'll see. Yeah, I'd love to see him back. Obviously, leaving Sean Foley is kind of a big shift to his team.
I wonder what's going to happen with that. I have a feeling that I'll get it. Or Patty's got it. Make sure you be friendly, Patty. He's such a nice guy. Wait till has he ever met Patty? Maybe he'll be nice to Patty.
He might be nice to Patty.
You can't be mean. You can't be mean to Patty.
Patty's big enough that he'll
He's
probably
a big lad.
scare him.
Should.
When is Matty going to do the Strixon driver build? Good question.
We should do that pre-bracket. I just realized that.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
Yeah, get it in its best form.
Anything
Shaft?
exciting, Patty?
Who's that from? No.
Exciting.
Smashing. A mystery box.
All right.
Is a mystery.
Yes, Daniel. Two Wedges offered to send us everything.
Yeah.
It's my bad. I have to get back to John. John, the CEO, has been very good.
It's
about
all is sent. All stuff is on the way.
Perfect. It's already
He is on
done. Daniel,
He is on it.
we will be testing. Yeah, two Wedges. They're so on the ball. So I thought it was called 721. Maybe I'm.
It's 721. Yep, it is.
Yeah, new series coming out. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing for the channel to test. It might be kind of like when we tested Nemesis. I know Nemesis is a lower price category. I think Tourage is obviously, the 721s are a more premium product than that.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be interesting tests for affordability.
Definitely.
Because their stuff is good value. Like honestly, that driver, for how cheap that EXS driver was.
And the EXS Pro, yeah.
Stupid cheap considering how good that thing was. So yeah, we're excited to see what they've got.
Yep. Jared, when are you going to do the PXG Proto 3 wood? We're not until they send until they send us one.
We are not.
We're not. Yeah, and we're going to do it when we get if and when we ever got it back.
When UPS knocks and it's a PXG box, you'll see it.
We will see it, but I don't know when that will be. Not sure.
Neither do I.
No plans.
Yep, new Taylormade Ball is coming in the spring. Do we have anything to say about it? No, because we signed the documente that says no talkie. No talkie, no product.
What is it, Paddy? A set of Acro shafts.
Sent to the wrong place.
Do you know what kind of shafts is that? Just in case they're for us, for testing.
In case it's something exciting.
Yeah, it might be something new.
Brian, I'm not going to butcher your last name, Brian, forgive me. But I'm glad to hear that it really helped you with your last time out. Good.
Love that.
Fantastic.
Very cool.
Whether you adjusted your club or maybe a swing thing, that's good to hear. Tell your friends. Tell everyone that will listen.
Yeah, exactly. Alex is asking, fitter question. How would you approach a scenario where you are confident a particular fitting adjustment or spec change will help a player, but are unable to test it with the tools at hand? You de-risk the situation for the client and basically tell them, if it doesn't work, it's on you, hand it back to me.
Is that one here?
Yeah,
I'll put that up.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's
from
something.
Alex.
It's something occasionally that we will see throughout the year. If you go, you know what, you really need this, and I know you really need it, I will build it up for you.
Probably not.
Is it a custom paint job?
Oh.
Black and blue.
Are they custom? Okay.
Nice matte. Mine was.
Are they for you?
No. 75 grams. I hope.
Ian, we got you these. There's blue on them.
I know. Anything with blue.
Those are my specs,
I'll
guys.
take it.
That's fine. You will be fine. Whisker's asking if you saw your shadow on Tuesday.
Did
Groundhog
you
Day.
see your shadow?
Do you know what the problem is, Whisker? In my opinion, Groundhog Day started on March 16th, 2020 and hasn't ended yet. So every day's been Groundhog Day. So it's hard to know. I saw my shadow probably 100 times over the last 9 months. Every day's been Groundhog Day.
Cena's asked us a nice question there. Mental health question. How are you guys holding up mentally? Stay strong.
nice.
The end is near. You got this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. What choice do you have, you know? what choice do you have? You're
survive or don't at the moment.
That's it. It's just yeah, feels a bit like that. Just get on with it. Get on with it. But we're doing okay. We're lucky to have you guys and this on a Monday and Thursday, and
it does help.
It gives us an outlet and stimulation that keeps us going. So
absolutely,
we are in a fortunate position that others are not.
Yeah, and for the rest of you, make sure you ask yourself this question and answer it honestly. If the answer is no, that's fine. Yeah. But try to get seek some help or do something proactively, because it's not going to be, unfortunately right now, no one's going to do this for you. I mean, if you're having a tough time, which I think most people are, you're not seeing anybody and people are struggling on their own. So to expect someone to kind of like ask you that question, unfortunately is just not common. Yeah. It's nice to have someone that will do it. But unfortunately, I think for some people, you just have to kind of take it in your own hands and just say, I'm going to make the best of this and do what I can for now. I don't know what's going to happen because it's February. I'm starting to see some reopening announcements. Yeah. So it's nice to see some light at the end of the tunnel. I think that does help because, my God, that has been missing. Something fierce. I don't know. For me, it's been missing since like October because nothing positive has been announced since the fall. It's just all been doom and gloom and piling shit on us all winter. So.
Yeah, I think as well with you know, as much as obviously how you're feeling and admit it to yourself is having enough awareness of the people around you, how they're dealing with things emotionally, and you know, if you do see signs in people, you know, being there for them and making sure that you know, if you can offer, you know, them some help or company or whatever that may be. Just being a little bit more mindful of others. If you feel that you're okay and you feel that there's people around you that aren't, you know, make a little time.
It would be great if you can pick one person. It doesn't take much, little message here and there or something. It can actually potentially save someone's life.
It can.
Really could.
It can for sure. But it's nice to see. I mean, yesterday's news on or the last 2 days in terms of where the cases have gone in Ontario over the last 2 days.
It's completely starting to dive.
It really is. Because they used that 1,000 cases a day number as the benchmark to when they would start looking. Well, 2 days ago we were under that.
I know.
Even though they said it was a marginal miscount, the next day was 1,200 cases. So
it was the miscount day. It was high or low?
It was low. It was like 700 and something cases. It was on Ontario. It was.
They were off by that much?
They said they were out by a few hundred in terms of. They just done a readjustment to the way they were counting, which they've been doing that, and it's been shown like spikes in cases, and then it went the other way.
Well, the readjustment now I think is based on the testing criteria has changed. The PCR testing criteria has changed. So there was a day, everyone saw the World Health Organization put that thing out that they were getting a lot of false positives. Since then, so anyway, why are things getting better? I'm not going to get into it, but it's nice to see. It's nice to see that we have some hope. So
definitely.
I actually thought about playing golf the other day because I said to Patty, like it was kind of nice out, like it felt springish. I was kind of thinking about golf, like actual golf, which was nice. Here, I mean, I think about golf in this context a lot. Like when I'm not here, I do think about what we're going to do and equipment and stuff. But in a sense, it's a type of golf. But golf itself, I've kind of forgotten about like playing on real grass. I know. Like it feels like a lifetime ago.
A lot of people. I was just actually going to mention about what Rick Shields is doing.
By the way, good on Rick for doing that.
Yeah,
I'll put the link in for that. Let me do that because Rick. Having the audience size that he does, I think it's really good of him to do that because it has such an enormous wide reach and impact. Let me put that link in for you guys. Mr. Ricardo.
Kudos.
Yeah, well done, Rick.
Kudos for that. Tim Monk, switch grips, ? Yep, coming, on our way.
Oh yeah, right.
On our way.
Switch grips.
Yep, hopefully. I mean, I chatted with the switch grip guys, I think it was maybe last week, so I'm expecting them any day, to be honest.
Awesome. Okay, I threw the link to Rick's video in there.
Love it. Aaron is asking, Matty, do you think all the hitting for testing has helped your game?
Sure, absolutely. No doubt. It'd be ridiculous to say otherwise, to be honest.
I think hitting and experiencing different golf clubs and getting, you know, it's almost like forced practice as well, isn't it?
Well, I was going to say it is practice because right now, Monday, Thursday is the only time I hit balls, which is fine. And it's been plenty because I get 2 nice sessions in a week. My swing has been maintained. So no, it's been good. There is no downside for me. It doesn't get in my head, I don't think, because now I understand what's going on. When I first came in, I didn't really get what was happening. You would tell me, obviously, but now at least when I hit a bad shot, even in here, I have some idea of what's happening. I can decide whether it was me or the equipment. So no, it's not there's no negative. People ask me that, like, oh, doesn't it mess you up? It's like, no, how could extra practice and knowledge and understanding shouldn't hurt? If it hurts, something else is probably wrong.
Exactly. I think if we were testing Zexio and things like that all day with you that's long and light and lofted and closed and stuff like that, you'd be you'd be trying to make all sorts of adjustments. Yeah. That probably wouldn't go so well.
Yeah, that's a different conversation.
Agreed. Gary is asking, what are the smallest heads they make now for drivers, top line clubs?
We can answer that.
I mean, you really see that new Callaway.
That's the smallest driver I've ever seen that claims to be 460.
Yeah.
Never seen a driver look that small. It's epic speed.
Speed, yeah.
What else is small? Epic speed.
TSI 4.
TSI 4 will be smaller.
Smaller.
TSI 3 would be after that.
Yeah.
And then no other company really makes a driver like that.
No, everything's on the larger
big side. Yeah. I mean, Taylormade's a smaller head, but it isn't as traditional, obviously. It's not the cannonball shape that those other two have.
Definitely.
What else can we grab? What haven't we really talked about?
Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of the J-spec heads, the Japanese market heads that are around that kind of smaller, deeper.
Oh, of course they would. Honma's drivers generally look very. The TR20 looks like that. I thought very compact.
Definitely. Chris is asking. He's an undersized. Oh, he wears a men's small glove, and he's guessed the question is, should he use undersized grips? Not necessarily. I mean, you could use something like an undersized +4 that has obviously the smaller top hand, but has actually a bigger bottom hand than a standard grip. That could actually work out quite nicely depending on your field preference and your ball flight. But no, I would say most people are more likely in the small men's glove size range to be using a standard, maybe standard stretched. You know, some grips we may stretch half an inch just to thin them out a slight bit.
That's interesting. Way of tweaking it.
Yep.
Very nice. We did a video on. That's an interesting question. So remember we did that video on deep face and shallow face woods?
That's right. Yeah.
This is something I've noticed. I don't really think that that's a trend anymore. Like, it kind of seems like all fairway woods now are relatively similar. Some of them are slightly more shallow. But every time I've thought that one is really shallow, I've measured it on the calipers. It's been like 2 millimeters. It's been identical.
Yeah, tiny amounts.
So it kind of seems like now internally they're making the adjustments to weighting. The head size height is fairly standardized. Yep. Whereas before it used to be like, oh, low launch 3-wood, it was like this tall. And a high launch 3-wood. Remember like a 9... What was before 909? 907.
Yep.
Okay, so I had a 907 F2.
Yep.
13.5 with an Aldila something red, whatever the red Aldila shaft at the time was, the high launch one. It was like some silly NVS or something.
NVS was the burnt orange one. Then there was a DVS, which was a little darker than that.
Maybe it was DVS. Yeah. Anyway, I had that club, and I remember the face being like that tall.
Yeah.
And I could hit that 13.5 higher than like an 8-iron.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the stupidest club on earth.
I know.
It's definitely, the technology has come along.
Yeah. It really, really has.
I forgot about the Voodoo. I had the Voodoo, and my hybrid has the Voodoo.
S-Core technology. That's right. I remember that one. I used. I actually liked that because I was a big fan of the Aldila, the VS Proto, the blue one.
Yep.
And you could get the Voodoo, you could get the VS, or you could get the NV. With the S-Core technology in there.
Absolutely. All right.
What else we got?
Let's take this one here from Roger, one of our contestants from the
Roger.
big contest. So Roger got his 3-wood fit. Very nice. He's getting Sim Titanium.
Yep.
He wants the 5-wood. Should I get this 5-wood in the same spec, or should he go for a separate fit?
Roger, I would say you'd be a safe bet, buddy, to go with the same shaft. You'd be fine.
Yeah.
You'd be fine.
Do they make a titanium 5-wood, or
yeah,
would you get the max?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
They do. Very nice.
Very nice, Roger. Safe bet for you. Ricky irons versus Tiger irons.
I know.
Haven't seen Ricky irons in person yet. I personally think I will like the look of the Ricky irons better, but that's only because Tigers are very retro looking. Tigers are very retro from a dress. Rickies are almost too not retro, like they're ridiculously not retro. But if I had to pick one, I would assume the Rickies would suit my eye, but I haven't seen them in person. And neither of them are left-handed, so I'd probably pick neither.
Rickies to me they just looked like they had way too much loft on them for me.
They do.
Yeah, I just looked at it and went, that just does, and that how thin that top line got, it didn't look like, so one of the reasons I used that TC201 is because the mass is a little bit, it looks like it has a little more mass there.
More friendly.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it. Ross. Oh, no, Ross, you're answering other people in the chat. Appreciate it. Thank you. How do you account for differences in playing swing versus fitting swing? Dave, it's a good question. I think communication in the fitting is key. So if you're making swings and you're seeing a ball flight that you're not used to, you need to tell your fitter. The fitter is going to look at what you're doing and assume that's how you play golf. If you don't tell them that it isn't, then there's no way for them to know. So if you're making different golf swings, if you see a pattern that you don't normally see on the course, you have to say something. Whether or not you can overcome that within the fit or you need to come back another time, but you have to communicate with the fitter or he or she will not be able to help you.
Jeremy's asking what irons we are using at the moment.
Ian is using Miura TC201s. I am using a set of Titleist T100s. We played the whole last season with those clubs, and we'll be starting 2021 with those, as far as I know.
For the most part, we know all the new irons for.
Yeah, there hasn't really been any irons that I'm like going crazy trying to switch mine with. So I'll probably play them this year, and if I end up switching, as I said before, it'll be for a laugh. It won't be because I really need to. I'm going to take this comment. Don't tell us what to do.
Don't ever.
We'll have them on 15 times if I want. We'll have them on 100 times.
Yeah, I don't see why. Wait, what do we do?
Did a podcast with
done a podcast with Mark.
I thought it went well. If you don't like him, skip that episode. Not our problem.
I like him.
I think it went well. Personally, I think we will have him on.
Well, take for example, right? One of our longest, subscribers, the Bandit. Somebody who I've spent time with here in the store. We have a great relationship with Bandit. Bandit's not Mark's biggest fan.
No.
Fine. But
still get along.
Bandit would never tell us not to have him on the show or whatever. Like it is what it is.
I believe he told us that he will be skipping that episode, which is great.
I've met Mark. We've met Mark. He and I done a Q&A together at the PGA show last year for Foresight.
That's right, you did.
He is a nice guy. He is a nice guy, and I can only ever judge someone in the way I've ever found them to be, and he's been nothing but a nice guy
I think
to me.
that's fair. You really shouldn't judge people that you've never met, and we have met, so we will judge. Positively. Okay. Sean's saying hello from Australia. Hello, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Hello, Sean, and all other Australians that are visiting us in the late hours of the evening. Thank you.
I saw the on Big Al's social the bushfires are kicking up again.
That's too bad.
I know.
Is it going to be an annual thing? It seemed like I thought last year was. Well, I don't mean to be naive. I understand it is an annual thing, but I mean that crazy,
level,
horrible disaster level.
That was a generational thing. I think that last one.
Hopefully that never ever happens.
Yeah. But Al did it was interesting. He circled like an area. He's like, just to put something into perspective of what the size of this fire, and he circled like it was around like London and the greater, like a significant portion around London.
And this would be on fire. Yeah, it's amazing. They do that with the California wildfires. We have wildfires out in Western Canada too. Yeah, the scope of them is just unbelievable. Anyway, hopefully everyone's safe and that isn't another nightmare brush fire year.
Really hope so.
Okay, let's take 2 more questions, and then we'll do some closing thoughts, and then we will get to work. I'm going to install this FSX Pro after and take a quick gander.
That would be cool.
Do this as part of your closing thoughts. A few people have asked this. What were your thoughts? I saw you did some testing. Give us a little bit of preview. We will be making a video, guys, so don't worry. But what did you think of that little 1K? Tennessee White 1K.
It was so anti-left for me. It was quite incredible.
Strike point difference from normal or usual?
Usual, yeah, okay. Yeah, kind of just like center and slightly out to the toe. But again, just that driver of mine, it loves it out there.
It does.
It loves it.
Well, I think you've described it quite well. When you move your slider over, you have moved the center of the driver.
Yeah.
So you are saying that you are hitting in the toe, but effectively you aren't really. You are pretty much hitting in the middle. I was thinking when you said that it was anti-left, I was wondering if that shaft brought your strike point in, and because of that would have. So it's just suiting your delivery and your timing quite well.
It does, yeah. And to be honest, I don't think it's even close to the finished article because at E0, which is what the swing weight was.
Why is it so heavy?
I played 46.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. So what are you going to do about that?
So I'm going to try. I'm going to try a switch grip in there. Just to play about with some
this
different weights.
This 46-inch thing is really interesting. Yeah. Are you finding it restrictive though?
No. It's just
requires more tinkering.
Yeah. Now I can live at 170 ball speed,
That's
whereas
true.
I used to live at 162 to 164 ball speed. Yeah. So
and your dispersion hasn't really changed.
It's not changed at all.
That I've noticed.
I
think it's good timing because your swing has improved quite a bit at the same time that you change length. If you hadn't have worked on your swing, I don't think the length conversation would have been quite as enjoyable for you. You probably would have been like, oh Jesus, this is rough.
That's right. It's definitely going longer is not for everyone. No. Getting a little more neutral to where my path is kind of fairly close to zero and the angle of attack is 3-4 up.
Just thinking that. Like you're producing zero-ish swings with a long club.
Yeah.
It's a good training aid.
I know.
Because then when you get in your shorter clubs, you're going to be even more neutral.
It's remarkable how short a 45-inch driver looks to me now though.
Comical.
Just look at it go. That looks like I'm my little just get it and play driver.
This is my bunter.
Yeah. So.
Bunty Sanderson. All right. Well, that is the 1K.
More to come on it. It's very stiff. I think it's very similar to a Ventus Black.
Okay.
Feels very much like a Ventus Black to me.
Seems like that would be who they target anyway, is a Ventus.
Yep.
Is there pizza chatter?
Somebody said, is it too early for pizza?
I'd have a slice.
Yeah.
If anyone sent a slice here right now, I would eat it. I wouldn't even chew it. Patty, want one? Pepperoni?
Jay's asking, what do you think of grooveless wedges for pros to spin the ball less?
Let me put my glasses on.
Yeah. So Jay, the best way I can describe that for you is in F1, the drivers use a grooveless tyre when the weather's good, right? The minute the weather gets bad, what's the first thing they do? They go to a tyre with grooves and tread and things like that again, because it has to try to create channels and funnels to take the moisture away from the rubber and the surface. So grooves are exactly the same thing, trying to disperse matter and moisture and any of those things, trying to keep the ball and the club together for longer to create higher friction. That's the purpose of the groove. So you will never see at any level someone with serious intentions playing a grooveless wedge. I've seen it in testing where people go dry ball, dry face, no grooves, not that bad. It still produces a lot of friction.
Super short grass also.
Super
I was just going
short.
to say, like, if there's any, you'd have to play golf on artificial short turf for a grooveless wedge to work on the pro level, because even long artificial turf, technically grooves would channel some of that plasticky crap off the face. Like it would matter even on artificial turf.
Definitely. I had some good chat with the guys at Fuji yesterday. They love the whole Ventus Purple idea.
Is there a chance that Ventus Purple could happen?
I think so. And
even if they just paint one.
They were asking. They're like, so what do you think? Like Ventus Purple, should we do it? And I'm like, absolutely, do it.
Yes.
There's been a lot of chat about this new Ventus that's been.
Yeah. Someone wrote Ventus Pro in here.
Doesn't exist.
Okay. Yeah. Well, not good, but it just didn't seem like we would have heard something about it.
There is no Ventus 2.0 yet. So basically, I think everyone but one person on the PGA Tour is playing the Ventus that you guys can buy from us.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
exactly
almost
the
everyone
same.
except one person has a custom one.
There's one player.
Cool.
One player.
I like that. I hate it when, I shouldn't say I hate it. I just don't like it when a company has too many tour players playing stuff that you can't buy. And I pick on Callaway for this, but like all the B heads, the diamond heads, the B ball, it's like, you make good stuff, but people want to play. I know they shouldn't think that they should play the same stuff as the pros. I understand that fitting is still the most important thing, but why not have the components at least available for fitting would be my beating of a dead horse. This is a good one from Spencer. I want you to make sure you grab this because it's fantastic. Spencer, yes, you can.
Yes.
And actually, to be honest, as a process, I can't imagine a better way of doing it. Because you'd be with Ian virtually, and then he's the one who can go literally walk into the build shop and go, I was just working with Spencer, here's everything he needs, Mikey builds it up, send it out to you.
Literally, and then the follow-up, once you get it back in the field, how's it going? Do we need to make modifications?
And it's important to say that's included.
That's included, 100%. That's just part of working together. Yeah.
That is, you're selling a warranty without selling it, I think, in a way. Like you're giving the warranty there, so Spencer, I would encourage you, if you want to try the Platinum even for a month, get on there with Ian, do a fit, and the boys would be happy to make something up for you. Yeah. There was one more, sorry, that seemed important. Oh, I just want to announce before I forget. Gareth Raflewski. We'll be here on Monday. February the 9th.
Yep.
We'll do something live with Gareth, maybe just a Q&A. I have to see what time he's coming, so I won't promise that.
It's a decent drive.
It's a hell of a drive. So what we're doing is several things. It's short game day for Ian with Gareth. So I was lucky enough, on numerous occasions I've worked with Gareth and we filmed it. Ian's going to have some short game lessons with Gareth, work through some wedges, some chipping, some pitching. I know you want them. So we'll film at least a couple episodes for you guys. We're going to film a little bit maybe for something that that Gareth will use for his channel. But yeah, you guys will see a bunch of lesson videos, which I don't think I'm misspeaking in saying some of the most popular stuff we've ever done has been with Gareth. Like you've said it to me, you're like the number of people that email me and text me going, are you going to have Gareth back? Are you going to have Gareth back? So at long last, we are having Gareth in. Look forward to that.
It will be great.
Maybe a little putting even, just a little.
Yeah, a little
something at the end.
Something
maybe
in there with him.
See what he thinks of that training aid. I'll bring it back in.
I know.
See what he thinks of the
pro putting trainer.
I know Gareth is in the putting training
space
business, so he can give us his thoughts on that.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Wait to see the little grind that I done on my 60
did you do
degree.
A little something?
Completely changed it. Completely changed the soul.
Is Aaron Dill going to be insulted?
AD, no, he's going to love it.
Nice.
He's going to love it.
Nice.
So it's completely changed the soul profile of the M.
This is your highest lofted wedge?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of felt like it was, I felt like it was kind of bouncing a lot of the time. I couldn't really get it to slide the way I get some wedges to slide and create that speed.
The timing of this is good then. If you felt like you added more of that ability to slide, working with Gareth will be a better experience with that wedge because he's going to neutralize your hands and take out some of that shaft lean that causes you to feel like you bounce into the ball.
Definitely.
Like what you're feeling, I think, where perfect contact is happening, I don't know, how many shots out of 5? If you're chipping,
oh man,
do you feel like you're kind of a little bouncy on one or two, a little thin on a couple, and then you catch one just the way you want? That's how I used to feel when I finished at least a few sessions with Gareth. I found like, I'm not hitting every one of them perfect, but the mishit shots, although they felt kind of a little behind the ball, the result was like, everyone looked at me like, oh, great shot. And meanwhile, I'm kind of thinking to myself, I felt like I hit that a bit shit, to be honest. That was the main difference, is like, perfect contact maybe doesn't occur more often, but it doesn't matter. The result was just improved so quickly.
Absolutely.
The consistency factor. That's a good question from Joe. Finish with that one. Is it a year of something for Scotty?
I have not heard.
Special Select was what, last summer?
Yeah, I haven't heard of anything.
Phantom or Futura refresh
coming.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, if anyone has any insights, feel free to pepper. Okay, closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. If the USGA and RNA are listening.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
Leave us alone.
Leave us alone.
And don't tell us what to do.
Well, the players are going to do that. You know,
yes,
they've got the stage, they've got the microphone. There's been so much. Do you know what I loved yesterday? I loved seeing Chris Voschal, Dave Neville, other companies going, you know, Way to go, Rory.
Good.
Right?
Yeah, some
And
solidarity.
Not because it's their player, not because it's just the right thing for the game, just to leave it alone and let's come up with some other creative ways
Yes.
of challenging the golfer. We are evolving. Why should you be punished for putting in extra work to get better at and regardless of what Matt Fitzpatrick thinks and whether distance is a skill or not, it is a skill.
It is a skill.
It is a learned skill.
Trained and learned.
It is a trained, learned skill. So leave us alone.
Leave us alone.
My final thought.
I think they're going to have to.
Yeah.
The USJ is basically like the government of golf.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the government works for the people. If all of the people, golfers, don't want this crap, it's not going to happen. People will just be like, we don't want this crap.
I know. I was sent a petition to this morning to be.
Oh, was there a golf one now? How many? I'll sign that. So basically saying we don't want these distance rollbacks and stuff. Good. Change.org, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is. Why doesn't everyone do it then if it's not a skill? Exactly. If it was just something you could purchase for equipment, fitting, who cares? If it was just something you could buy and it was an unfair advantage, then why doesn't everyone do it? Very well said.
The reality is at the top of the game, there actually are still so few guys who are unbelievably long.
As a percentage, how many guys do you think it is out of 150 guys play every week?
Yeah.
20 of them are stupid long?
Maybe.
So we're talking about 10 to 15% of the 0.000000001% that play on the PGA Tour. A tiny percentage of a micro percentage hit it too far.
Tiny
And
percentage.
you have the governing bodies of the entire sport spending all of their time and effort. We're going to do this again, rant. But wasting their time on something that doesn't matter.
And by the way, if you want to reduce the max length of the driver from 48 to 46,
go for it.
Go for it. I don't think anyone's going to really fight you on that
It's like hockey sticks. There's a length. I think at some point there's a limit on that.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell someone like Chara? Oh, I'm sorry, you're 7 feet tall, but you're you know what I'm saying? Like you have too much of a reach advantage. It's like or you skate too fast for a tall guy. It's like no, stop it. Leave us alone.
Leave us alone.
We like golf. Stop ruining it. People like golf.
Yep.
We want to golf. We are the people of the world. Okay, let's wrap it up, guys. Great live, well attended. As always, we appreciate you.
We appreciate you guys.
We'll see you on Monday for a live no matter what. Whether Gareth is here for the live, I won't promise yet. I probably want to prioritize his time otherwise, to be fair.
Yeah.
So he's going to day trip it here. I don't want him to have to stay for 8 hours and do a live. So we'll probably do our own live, and then we'll get right into it with Gareth afterwards, and we'll do Ian's lessons and stuff in the early afternoon.
What do you think about maybe even doing like a maybe like a midday live or something with him? Then maybe pushing the live to like a slightly later one just to see if.
Let me ask him what time he's coming, and then we'll
see.
But either way, you will see us Monday, and you'll have a hell of a short game week in the early going.
And if we do change it to a completely different time of the day, you guys know you're going to find us around 10 o'clock. If we change it to 12, it'll be on Instagram
and the community page.
On the community pages.
I'll make a post about either way, whatever time it is, we'll schedule it.
Yeah, you guys will see it.
Fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be good. I'm really looking forward to it. I said to Mikey this week, this is for me the year of the short game. I know I'm kind of doing some distance related stuff and what have you. This is the year of the short game for me.
If you can get your short
fully
game
focused on my short game.
You can get it to where you want with all the extra yards you've picked up, you're going to have a big year.
Yeah.
Huge year. Okay.
Okay.
Everyone, thank you for joining us.
See you Monday, guys.
See you on Monday.
Look forward to it.